Hey everyone. So we got Clash of Wilds Season 2, and with it, Clash of Wilds actually died, in my opinion. And from my point of view, Clash of Wilds is now Dark Visions, but worse. And in this video, I will not only vent about Clash of Worlds being the worst thing to ever have been created by Gumi, but also why I feel like this is the case. So let's start off with a recap of Season 1. Season 1 had a damage cap of 2.147 billion, which was okay. It was easily obtainable, easily quote unquote, because you still needed that EX level requirement. And while the first Dark Vision, Clash of Wilds, it didn't allow us to go below, 18 below 18. So if you wanted all of these, you needed at least, or you needed 6 units of EX plus 3, right? So this team that I'm showing off right now would not have worked. I could have not capped Clash of Worlds. I still did it with a few tricks, a few old Near Vision Awakened units. It worked out, so it was fine in the end. I still didn't really feel like Clash of Wilds was a good feature back then. But I was like, I mean, it's something new, they're trying things out, it's all okay. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and they actually reduced the cost of EX level requirements to 16, which you can see at the bottom. So that was fine. While Osta, which was the second boss, the Dragon Reaper, I believe, or Undead, it was a complicated boss, but looking back at it, I found it was okay, right? X level requirements were fine. If you had Sky, this boss was a complete joke. I didn't have Sky, I still don't have Sky. But it was still capable, and that was still fun to some degree, right? The boss had a few cool gimmicks, good mechanics, etc. Still a good fight, and it was good. But things started to really go downhill from the final boss of Season 1 in Clash of Wilds, which was Kairos. Everyone probably remembers the dude who immediately drained your MP, had accuracy, did a lot of nasty things, 40 plus abilities, no combat log whatsoever. Things were looking grim. He was still capable, which was the only thing that actually kept me going, because if I can get rank 1, that's fine. If I can't, why would I even care? And that leaves us with Season 2. Now, instead of actually improving Clash of Wilds with good units and all, Gumi thought, why don't we take the worst things out of, say, Item World and Dark Visions and put them into Clash of Wilds? Now, what we do have now is that totally redundant and useless Item World feature where you can pick up to 3 rewards from these here. Like, who wants the Transcendental Pearl, right? I mean, yeah, on paper you could get 3 Transcendental Pearls, but I'd say that these tickets here, the NVEX tickets and the guarantee tickets, they are worth far more than these stupid Transcendental Pearls, because in ideal case, you get an NV off of these tickets, or an STMR, which you always wanted but never actually got. An STMR from a dupe, that is, I should point out. And yeah, you do have more worth than from a Transcendental Pearl, which you will still be unable to use because you don't have the unit probably, or the X level, or the shards for the unit. So what good does the Transcendental Pearl do? And let's not talk about the Ascension Pearl, which is absolutely useless. I don't know about you, but I am close to 100 Ascension Pearls at this point. And I have tons of units, NVA units that I could shard. So probably in reality I'm more close to 200 Ascension Pearls than anything else. So whoever thought having an Ascension Pearl and Transcendental Pearl as a rare, I don't know. These rewards, if they wanted to make them half decent, they should include obnoxious drops and Xenostone shards. But the way they are just useless. And I, for one, will never ever rerun Clash of Wilds just for these rewards. And on the topic of rerunning Clash of Wilds, now that there is no cap available, because Gumi thought, hey, 2.147, that's too complicated, right? Let's make this 10 billion minus 1 to 9.999, etc. But on the other hand, they didn't even bother lowering the boss's defense. So, do you guys remember the time when Dark Visions removed the cap and made it 10 billion -1? That was still fine for the first few months because we had Terra, and Terra literally destroyed every content there was, so all was still good, right? You could easily cap the first, I believe, 3 months with Terra and some other DPS, and it was still good. You could still get rank 1, get all your rewards, all was good. But then Gumi thought, or Alum I should say, thought, well, let's not make it that easy to cap anymore because we don't want people to have an STMR ticket every 4 weeks. And now we have the lowest Dark Visions participation rate ever, most likely. And I mean, there is a reason why Alum stated in their 6th anniversary stream that they are entirely reworking Dark Visions. They didn't give a reason, but I mean, the reason is pretty obvious. If people can't cap, people don't care. And people probably don't even pull for the Dark Vision units anymore because what's the point? And especially with these rewards and the reward structure these guys are having, Clash of Wills, you get for rank 1 to 5, you get half decent rewards, but 6 to 10 is already getting worse, right? So instead of a full STMR, you get 30 tickets. The rest remains the same, but things are starting to get really bad to a point where you should ask yourself, is it even worth going for the latest unit? Because truth be told, if you pulled for every unit in Season 1, you will always be somewhere around the top 100 to 500. So that leaves you with 1.1k Xenostone shards, which is 400 less than previously. You only have 1/5 of an STMR. Well, technically it's 4.5, but let's still assume it's 100 per STMR. So you have 1/5. It's still half decent rewards, right? But it's not as good anymore, and I wouldn't really care. And last season, or on Kairos, I believe there were only 200 to 300 rank 1s because the boss was still very hard to pull off. But what you could also see is, and I've been told that in on the Discord, that being top 1000 was super easy because most people didn't even bother clearing rank 99. And the Tower of Unknown Origin isn't that easy either. I mean, it's far easier than Kairos, but it still inherits the worst possible things, right? It still has a hard cap on 50%, where you have to take the threshold, you have to deal with the boss's abilities, which I don't mind. But why make it so obnoxious in the process? I mean, they are literally taking the worst things they have ever come up with, hard locks, no cap, super high defenses, etc. And they don't even make units to deal with this because, let's be honest, Oliveira is a totally useless unit. I was thinking for a long time today, how would I use Oliveira in this fight? What would he bring to the table that I don't have right now? And the answer is, he'd do nothing. I have Yigni, and if you also have Yigni, there is no reason to pull for Oliveira. That 5 percentage points advantage in Imperil won't do anything for you. Because you have to give up another slot for Oliveira, who is not dealing very much damage. So, yeah. From my point of view, Clash of Wills is a dead feature now. I will not care. I will tell you right now, if unless Cartons all of a sudden deals 5 times as much damage as Sky does in Clash of Wills, this boss will remain uncappable. And if you're not first, you're essentially last. That is my go-to for these kind of ranking events. And if I can't get first, what point do I have in trying? I didn't even bother redoing Dark Visions. I kept my rank. Now, I still think Dark Visions is up, yeah. So I did not improve my score in Dark Visions at all. I said in my Dark Visions video I was going to try. I didn't. I just didn't care. Even with the enhanced Lara weapon, I just didn't care enough to go back in and do a better score. So And why would I do the same for Clash of Wills? This is more frustrating because the boss has so much more abilities you have to keep track of. B, it is just another variance rolling fiesta, which I hate personally. If there's anything I hate the most, it's RNG. I hate it so much that it turns me off immediately when I see a game that has any RNG involved. I just don't play it usually. Now with FFBE, it's a gacha game, so RNG is always kind of a thing, but it's fine for pulling because I can get the reward guaranteed at some point. But with variance rolling for damage, there is no guarantee you will get what you want. There's no guarantee all 6 units will get 100% variance rolls. I'd rather play the lottery before I try to get 6 perfect rolls on everyone. That's never going to happen. So yeah, Clash of Wills officially is dead to me, and it should be dead to anyone who cares enough to spend money on the game, because there is no reason. Why? Like, unless you're fighting for a top 50 spot or top 5 spot, why would you care about the latest units? They don't do anything. You get a higher score, right? Yeah, you're probably still gonna end up in the top 100 to 500 bracket, because the top 100, who are most likely the greatest weights in this game, will always have better gearing, will always have the better units, will always have full 18 out of 18 EX levels. They will just flat out beat you, no matter what you do. So it all comes down to, do you care enough? And I don't care enough. If I can't get rank 1, why should I care? So from my point of view, Clash of Wills, especially with the bosses being this stupid, obnoxious and hard, I don't care. I will not care about this feature anymore. I will just do it $2.99. I will do 1 clear with max modifications and all that stuff. 1 and done, pretty much, just like Dark Visions. I will not pull for the latest units unless Carton all of a sudden does 10 times as much damage as Sephiroth. I will most likely not pull for him. So yeah, there is no reason to do anything worthwhile. It's really hard to grasp the fact of how stupid Gumi can be with a feature that cost them so much development time just to ruin it with 1 change. It's unreal. I'd rather have story events, which I do not care either about, because I always skip any story in this game. But I'd much rather have all the story events than this right now. So yeah, I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, this game has come down to pulling for favorites and not caring about any ranks anymore. I will still do these videos. I will still give it my best because I know some of you still really care about good strats, high scores. So I will do that once. I will do a one-off good score run, as I do with Dark Visions. And that's gonna be it though, because I feel like it's a waste of time for everyone to try out new strats when there is no point other than wasting your time. I'd much rather do something entirely else, like play Pokemon Unite or play better games that have more challenging content or more engaging or rewarding content than this, because if there's anything missing here, it's rewards. I don't feel rewarded for going to top 100 to 500. It feels like I lost because the game doesn't want me to win anymore. It's the same feeling like Dark Visions, but yeah, bosses are harder, bosses are more annoying, you have to keep track of more things. Why can't they make these bosses regular trials? That'd be so much better. I'd much rather have Kairos. Kairos would have been such a good trial boss. And the Tower of Unknown Origin would also have been a very, very good trial boss. Osta too, for that matter. Why not just make them trial bosses with cool rewards? But no, they had to make it worse. So yeah, that was my rant on Clash of Wills. I always thought it was a bad event or feature anyway, but now it's actually the worst. It's worse than Item World, it's worse than Dark Visions. I can't comprehend how you can pulverize diamonds like this. This feature could have been so good, but it's so bad now. Well done, Gumi. Well done. You've actually lost all credit on how to be a half-decent developer. Congrats. I'm out. see you tomorrow for the Oliveira review. Bye bye.